For more, let's cross to the Ukrainian capital. Olena Pavlenko is president of the energy research think tank, the DiXi Group. Thank you for being with us here on France 24.
Greetings from Kiev.
First off, the rolling power outages. Are you experiencing them personally?
Actually, cities in Ukraine, we have the electricity outages very regularly. And when this huge missile attack happened last Tuesday, there were also electricity outages non-regularly, so just to stay without electricity.
All right, a bit of a choppy connection. Let's hope that it improves. Before I ask you about what the residents of Kherson must do, I just want to first off, Olena, play a clip of what a spokesperson said for the World Health Organization, the UN body, which is saying that this is going to be perhaps a huge humanitarian disaster as winter sets in. Let's listen.
This winter will be life-threatening for millions of people in Ukraine. The devastating energy crisis, the deepening mental health emergency, constraints on humanitarian access and the risk of viral infections will make this winter a formidable test for the Ukraine health system and the Ukraine people, but also for the world and its commitment to support Ukraine.
Commitment to support Ukraine. What should that commitment look like?
As actually you discussed before, over the 50% of energy infrastructure of Ukraine is destroyed. So what Ukraine really needs very much is equipment to repair this infrastructure very fast. Generators, cables, transformers, and many, many others. And we badly need this right now. The second, what is very much needed is to protect our sky, to protect our air from the new missiles attack. From what we know, Russians do not have already a lot of missiles. They still have some, but not so many. But they still might organize such bad missiles attack several times more. And it is very critical not to allow them to destroy any other energy critical object here in Ukraine. So yes, equipment to be able to repair the system very fast, and the air defense system to be able to protect us from the new attacks for the future.
Olena, you mentioned those massive airstrikes from last Tuesday, and there were more other days that followed. We've been hearing different sounds out of Ukraine since. Some saying that, yeah, this is critical. It's going to be bad for the whole of the winter. And others taking the glass half full attitude, saying the Russians spent billions on those missile attacks last Tuesday, and a lot of the infrastructure was repaired within hours. What's the situation?
These messages do not contradict each other. Our company, which works on energy issues, our energy companies, they prepare people in Kiev, in other cities, that there might be outages of electricity by the end of March, when the heating season will end, because people use a lot of electricity to heat during the winter. And again, they will not be able to balance the system by the end of March normally. But if we have more missiles attack, the situation will be worse. The situation will be that Ukrainians may stay for several days without electricity, not only in frontline cities, but also in Kiev, for example, where I am now. And this will be much more critical for many issues, for the health of people, for education. My son personally, he has only online education now, and he will not be able to do the schooling. And also the questions, of course, with the businesses, with the shops, grocery stores. This will have a huge impact. So we just cannot allow to have this blackouts, outages of the electricity for a longer period of time than we had now.
What do you do if you're living in Kherson? Do you stay or do you go right now?
This is a very hard question. I know that a lot of people decided to stay, and what Russians are doing, they try to threaten people, they try to create fear. But what I hear around, that people rather have anger. People are just more angry on Russians and ready to fight. I know that a lot of people in Kherson are not going to live. But on the other side, if you are a mother with a small children, if you are responsible, for other people who are either very small or are very old, I would probably propose them to leave because unlike Kiev, for example, Kherson is still very close to the front line, and Russians have still a lot of possibilities to shell, to do the artillery attacks. You can repair the electricity, and within the next few hours they will just shell again and destroy the system. So this will be quite a problematic city and territory for the next month or so. So if the people who have small children or old people, I think it would be easier for them to survive during the winter somewhere in a safe place. But again, still a lot of people want to stay.
Still a lot of people want to stay. On the eve of Vladimir Putin's invasion, Ukraine for the first time was hooked up to Europe's power grid. Can Europe send electricity?
Yes. Actually, Ukraine joined a European electricity grid in March. And in June, we were able even sell electricity to the European Union. Ukraine was selling electricity from June till October 10th, when the first missiles attack on the energy infrastructure started. And now there was a discussion that now Europe can help Ukraine actually to provide some electricity for Ukraine's needs during this winter period. I don't think it will be quite a lot of electricity. I don't think it will have a lot of impact on European consumption. But nevertheless, it will be very helpful for us to balance the electricity system and not to avoid a lot of electricity blackouts.
Limited resources, big choices to make. Olena Pavlenko, many thanks for speaking with us from Kyiv.
Thank you very much. Stay safe.